Now, what we can do with JavaScript? JavaScript, these are the some of the benefits, not everything. JavaScript can create HTML elements. It can change HTML content. It can change HTML attributes. It can change HTML styles. It can validate the data. I will create a simple example which covers all these 5 points which I have mentioned over here. Just let me take a simple example. So what does this first point? It can create HTML elements means. Let me create a variable here. Script where my heading equal to, sir, this variable heading and the whatever the next lines I am going to write, if you are not able to understand, no problem. The motto of this explanation is how we are going to implement JavaScript, but basics will be covered in the coming slides. Just I would like to give you an overview what exactly we can do with the JavaScript. So document dot create element h1 my heading dot append child, sorry, document dot body append child my heading. So what happens in this in this body there is no h1 exist, but I have created a h1 element dynamically and I have added to the body here. So now when I run this in element section, I should be able to see the heading which I have created dynamically. Now let me create a text node where heading text.
One minute.
Yeah.
Actually, it got stuck.
Yeah, tell
So
me.
what has happened when you say that, create element h1 and
Okay.
append my heading? So I couldn't see that.
See, no issue. Now can you able to see now what exactly I am doing with this
Very
document
possible.
dot create element, with this document dot create element, I am creating a element h1 element dynamically, and then I have stored in this my heading. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then after this, now if my heading means there is a dynamically created element is inside this my heading variable, right?
That's a h1. Value is h1?
It's an element. The h1 doesn't have any value. Of course, it is an element. It has been
Okay.
it created and it is stored in my heading. Now the where my heading variable represent a dynamically created h1 element. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now I have navigated to document body. Then I have requested to append it. Append. So this my heading will get appended to
Mm-hmm.
the body. Clear?
Okay.
I have created an element dynamically, then I have added to the body. That's it. Now, what I am trying to do,
So when you run, yeah.
yeah, please go ahead.
you shown something like, my screen got stuck then.
Acha, acha, okay.
So that's why I
Now,
wanted to see.
to check that whether the element is added or not, what I have did is I have come to the debugging tool, and then I went through the element section in the debugging tool, which is over here. In that, in body section below the script tag, there is an element which added dynamically, which we have just now added h1. Now I'm trying to add some text content inside this h1 so that we can see in the document also, we can see in the screen also.
Okay.
Okay, let me create a text content where my heading text equal to document dot create text node hello world. Now say this heading text, the text which we have created just now should be inside h1, right? That's clear, right? Hello sir.
Is it like a tree?
Yes, it is like a tree. It's a DOM tree, what we
Okay.
say normally. Document object model tree. It's a DOM tree. So this heading text should be inside my heading, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my heading dot append child, my heading text. Now when I run this, I should be able to see this text over here also. What happened? I have created a h1.
No, we not.
Come again.
Okay. So wait till okay. It's my heading text is document create text node. Okay, it is created a text node,
Mm-hmm.
and 1 minute. And above it, we have a my. Okay, sorry. Can you go back to the script,
Yeah, sure. No issue,
please?
no issue, no issue. I think it is some screen sharing is little bit delayed, but no problem.
Okay, so the first we created my heading, then my heading text.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't see any relationship between these two things.
Yeah.
Okay, now I see that. Okay, my heading text dot append child. Okay. Yeah, I know. I couldn't see that refresh. My heading text there. Okay, got it.
So this is called dynamic HTML. Sometimes we may need to create elements dynamically based on the requirement. Uh, that kind of situation, we will create HTML elements dynamically from JavaScript. So for those kind of purpose, we use JavaScript. The first point, that's what the first point is. Anyway, we are going to go through this particular stuff in depth in coming sessions. But
Okay.
just now I would like to give you an outer view. What exactly we can do. How can we create HTML elements dynamically in JavaScript? That's just I want to give you an overview. Now let me go to the
Okay, when
second
you say
point.
element, okay, so it's like a H1 is the heading. Am I correct?
Yes, it is an heading only. It is an H1 element tag only. It is an heading.
Okay. You are creating that whole the code there, HTML code itself.
Correct.
Okay,
Okay. Now,
got it.
how can we change the HTML content? How can we change HTML content? Means, what does mean HTML content? For example, I have a H2 here. In this, I am basic HTML content. So when I run this, I should be able to see this first line. But I want to change this line from JavaScript. For example, I have a button here. Change the change content. So on click of this, I'm invoking a function change. So when I call this function, What I would like to do is document. Let me give an ID for this. H2 document dot get element by ID H2 dot inner HTML equal to new text I have created. Now, means whenever I click this button, this particular text has to be changed with the new text which I have given now. That is what my motto. So let us see how it works. See, the text is been changed. See, we can change the
Okay.
HTML content as well based on the requirement.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Now, JavaScript can
So
change.
that means the H2 will have this one now. It was highlighted. Okay.
Yeah, the new text.
Heading 2.
Yeah. And we can change the HTML attributes also. What is meant by attribute?
Oh,
Which will give the
H2, when you say H2 there,
uh-huh.
okay, the first H2 represents the heading 2,
Okay.
whereas the second H2 represents the
If
ID.
you are getting
We are
confused with
referring to
this
the,
H2, let me create a name of heading 2 or sample. Let me capture this sample because that is also H2 and ID also H2 definitely will get confused. So ID is sample. So I'm capturing this element whose ID is sample, whose ID is sample with this line up to here. Then in inside that inner HTML, I am giving new content so that it has to be replaced as per our new content. Okay. Now I can change the background also. Means I can change the what do you call attributes
yeah.
dot
And what about this one? Like, you can define the function anywhere.
anywhere we can define the function anywhere. Set attribute
Okay.
class.
So there is no order of execution kind of thing.
No functions there won't be because functions will be read and it will be stored in memory only because it is not going to get initiated until you invoke it, right? Functions never executes until you invoke it. Whenever you call, then only the functions will get invoked. It doesn't
Okay.
it doesn't matter whether it is above it is what do you call before or after. Functions don't have any issues. You can keep it anywhere.
Okay, but they should be defined within a body.
uh it can be in head section also. That's not an issue. Functions can be defined in head section also like this.
Okay. But still I can call them in body.
Yes, it normally
If
we
I
will
create a
call
get.
it from the body only. I have removed and replaced in the head section. Still it works.
Only you can continue actually, if you think that these questions are too early to ask.
No
Okay.
problem, no problem, no problem. See, questions whenever it comes to our mind, if you get the what do you call the solution, it will be properly injected into in our mind. That's not an issue. See, it's not like your what do you call కంప్లీట్ గా స్క్రాచ్ నుంచి మీరు నేర్చుకున్నట్టు కాదు మీకు క్లారిటీ రావడం కోసమే అడుగుతున్నారు ఐ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ ఇష్యూ అట ఒక్కసారి మీకు
Okay.
క్లారిటీ వచ్చింది అనుకోండి దెన్ నా పని సులువు అయిపోద్ది ఇట్ విల్ బి ఈజీ ఫర్ మీ టు గో హెడ్ విత్ అప్లికేషన్ రైట్
Yeah.
ఓకే నౌ I'm adding see దీనికి ఫర్ దిస్ ఐడి ఐఎమ్ అటాచింగ్ ఏ క్లాస్ నేమ్ ఆల్సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ సక్సెస్ అనే క్లాస్ నేమ్ పెట్టాను అనుకోండి సో ఈ క్లాస్ నేమ్ కి నేను ఒక స్టైల్ ఇస్తాను ఐ విల్ బి హ్యావింగ్ ఏ స్టైల్
Okay.
క్లాస్ in this dot success background green. So by default, I have a class with the property background green. And when I click this button, when I click on the change button, what I am doing is I have captured the element whose ID is sample. Then I have added one class name success. So the moment this success added to the H2 element, so automatically it should capture the styles which we have given in the success class. This concept is clear.
Yes.
Okay. Now when I click on the button, see, I have the success class dynamically added to the H2 element. So this is what this third point, JavaScript can change HTML attributes means. For example, I have a, what do you call it, the class name of success. Now let me change to danger. Dot danger background red. Now okay. Now change color function. When you initiate this function, take this button. So change content will give this, change color will give the different color. Means ultimately we are playing around with the class names. If you see in this H2 line, whenever we click on the button, this particular class attributes name is getting changed. You can observe this, right?
Yeah.
So that is what this point number 3. We can change HTML attributes. Now coming to HTML styles. HTML styles, what we can do is instead of adding as a set attribute, I have removed this style dot background equal to pink. So when I refresh, so see, you can see now I have added background color as a style property, not as a attribute, not as a class property.
Yeah.
This is what the point number 4 means. And validating data. What does means validating data? Imagine we have an input field. Input, type text, ID,
And you have
username.
to get the a name. Input type. It's uname.
Username like username and password. ID equal to pass and button submit. on click, submit. Now create a function, submit. Okay, now if this username equal to empty string, first what we have to do is we have to capture the value where username equal to document dot get element by id username dot value. Next where password equal to document dot get element by id password dot value. Now if this username equal to empty string, then alert please enter username, else if password equal to empty, then alert please enter password. If we have entered all everything, then else welcome alert welcome username. When you run this, it should look like this. For example, without adding any data, if I try to add the submit button, I should get a alert message. For example, if I entered Murli and then I have submitted, then it is asking password. If I enter password, I submit, then it is giving an alert message, welcome Murli. Basically, while we submit any data in JavaScript, what do you call it, in HTML pages, it will validate it. It will validate and show the error message to the user whether he has entered the way data or not, something like that.
Okay.
For this kind of stuff, we do use JavaScript in the validating data. Clear, sir? Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, going to the next slide. Where to place it? Just now, we have seen it can be placed in the head section with the script tags, and it can be placed in the body section also with the script tag. Technically, it doesn't, how do you call it? It is not wrong. It can be placed anywhere. Either it could be in head section or it could be in the body section, technically. But logically, placing at the end of the body section is the correct option. The reason, just imagine
Okay.
if if any errors in this head section, which obstructing or document performance. So what happens? This entire body also will get affected because of that. So at least HTML content can be visible if you place the script tag at the end of the body section. So it is always advisable, at least JavaScript code placing at the End of the body section. Clear? Okay, next. Two ways you can use JavaScript. One is internal and one is external. What does mean internal? Just now whatever we have done, it is an internal, or else I can create a what do you call it, a JavaScript file. Control S, sample1.js. Then I can cut all the code from here. I can paste it here and head section code also. Now just remove the script from here and source equal to sample1.js. When you run this, should not have any problem. It should work perfectly. That is called external JS. I can create a different script file and I can add it to the HTML document. That's what the external JS means. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, now
So you are calling.
come again.
So you are calling it.
Yes. Ultimately, we have created a different JS file and then we are calling it. We are invoking from our HTML document with the script tag.
Yeah. How does it know the folder? Um, is it required to mention the folder name?
If it is inside any folder name, if it is what you called, just imagine in some cases, go to this, where it is exactly right now. So if you see right now, this is what we are doing with, one second, with sample one, JavaScript and sample one. Inside JavaScript, see, there is no folder here. HTML
1
document
minute,
and
got
JS
stuck.
file.
1 minute. Yeah, it got stuck. That's
No problem.
1 minute.
Can I stop at
Yeah, now I'm in folder. Oh, content interviews, questions, and so on. So that's
Acha,
where I am now.
you are very
Download folder.
okay. 1 second.
Yeah, now I see the sample JavaScript. Yeah, now I see it. Okay.
1 second. I will stop the screening and I will share it 1 second.
Okay.
Now I think you can able to see the folder sample1.html, sample1.js, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if I have a different folder like JS, inside this JS, this JavaScript file is there. Now it won't work. It won't work now because it doesn't work. The path is not right. You will get an error straight away. You can see it here. So change is not defined, change color is not defined, something like that. Because
1
it is
minute.
inside the folder, right?
Yeah, 1 minute. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not there yet. Yeah, now I see the thing. Okay, error. Now I see the errors.
Okay. The errors we have got is the reason is it is not exactly navigating to the correct path of the JavaScript. Now,
Mm-hmm.
now if you see, can you able to see this line number 24, which where we have given the sample
Yeah.
1.js?
Yeah. Okay, now we need to give the absolute path.
Correct, sir. Now I have just added the JS folder name. If I run this,
No. Okay, it's relative. Still, it's relative. Okay.
no, it will work now. Got it?
1 minute. It's not. Yes, I think so. Okay.
Clear, sir?
Yeah, please continue.
Okay. So this what about what do you call it? So far the basics of JavaScript. Now coming to data types. What kind of data types we are going to use in JavaScript? Is there any doubt so far discussion whatever we had regarding introduction or basic stuff?
No.
Okay. Now what kind of data types we are going to use? String, that is A to Z, number 0 to 9, boolean, true or false, null. Uh, this null, it's almost similar kind of what do you call it? If we don't have any data, if we are requesting some data from the server and there is no data in the server, automatically they will send null. So based on that condition, what we can do is we can maybe show an error message to the user, whatever request you have sent is not right. This kind of thing we can do it. Basically, we will be checking what is the status of that request, whether we have any data or not. Clear? Now, undefined. We have declared one variable and there is no data in it. That is what undefined means.
That means we can create a variable without any data type specified. Am I correct?
Correct. Like this.
Oh,
I think we have created here, right?
we created.
Yes. For variable. See, for example, this variable name I can create globally. Now I have not given any value for this. Then I can use later on, I can give the value for this. If you see here, it is undefined. We have not given any
It's
value
not.
in line number 1.
Yeah, it's not requested.
No problem.
Okay. Now I see where username.
Yeah. In line number 1, I have just declared the variable, but I have not assigned any value for this. In line number 9, I have assigned a value.
Value. So that means that we can still create local and global variables. The scope will be defined in such a way here.
Yes. The line number 1 variable which I have created is having global scope. It
Yeah.
can be accessible entire
Yeah, I
application.
understand. We have the concept here, local and global variables.
Yes, we do have it.
Okay, a variable that is defined in one function will not be accessible in the other function then.
Correct. Because it will become
Okay.
local, right, for that particular function.
Yeah,
That
just one.
access,
Okay, we should have.
that
Okay.
accessibility won't be there outside of the function. Clear, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Next, display possibilities, and it is alert. We can display the results. Once you write any program, whatever the result, if you want to display it, we can display it as an alert, or we can write on the document with the document.write method, or with using inner HTML, we can display the data. Just now we have did it, what do you call it, in this inner HTML method, how we can append some data. Pick any one HTML element. With help of inner HTML, you can put the data inside that element. That's what we can do to display the data. Right. Next, console log. This console log we will be discussing in detail in coming sessions, because almost all the applications we are going to use this console log while while working with this, because we will be checking whatever the data we are expecting, have we received it or not. This kind of, basically it is our tool as a web developer. We have to check whatever what do you call it, syntax, whatever coding we are doing, whether it is correct or not, that will be checked with this console log only. This won't be visible for the users. This will be visible for us only.
Okay. To come there, I'm still on the PowerPoint slide.
Yeah, still I have not went to the coding. I have just explaining about console log
Oh, okay. I
in
thought that
PPT
you
only.
only.
That
Okay,
anyway we will
okay.
be discussing in detail in coming sessions about console log. Console log is one of the most
Okay.
most number of times we are going to use in, in JavaScript or jQuery, Angular, whatever scripting pattern we will be using console log very. This will be our what do you called for a doctor how the stethoscope like that. For a web developer, console log will be like that only.
Oh, okay.
Means we will be
Okay.
playing with this console log very often, each and every line. What is this? Whenever we get some doubt, okay, what is this line is going to give you the result? Why is this line
It's
is giving
mostly
you,
for debugging, you know.
sir?
It's most like a debugging kind of thing.
Yeah, it is
Debugging tool.
nothing like it is a debugging tool only. The debugging tool. This is going to be the debugging tool for us. Most number of times we are going to use it. The more you frequent, the more you familiar with this console log, the more grip you will get on the code, because each and every line it will scan it, what is this line means, what is this line means, those kind of information you will get this console log method only with help of console log.
Okay.
Okay, okay sir, from slide number 7 I will discuss tomorrow sir, because I have to start office.
Sure.
Okay, from slide number 7 I will explain you
Okay.
in detail from
Thank you.
tomorrow morning 8 o'clock. And so far any doubts sir in this introduction whatever we had?
So I'm fine. I'm fine.
I can go in the same pace, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay then. See you, sir. We'll meet tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye.